Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen with the Tough Eggs. Now, it's been a pretty busy couple of days for me personally, but it is currently Alien Week within the verse. It's not a big event like Invictus, but it presents the best time to review some of the more unorthodox ships available in the game. So, today, we're taking a closer look at Esperia's light fighter, the Talon. The Esperia Talon is a compact light fighter and one of the few ships in the game that can comfortably compete with the Arrow. As such, the Talon is one of the most manoeuvrable ships in the game. She can pitch at 80 degrees per second, yaw at 70 and roll at a blistering 275 degrees per second. This means that this bird-like vessel can change its angle of attack in under a second, allowing for an extremely responsive and fast-paced gaming experience. Being a light fighter, you would expect the ship to have limited options when it comes to survivability, but you'd be wrong. The Talon features the ability to mount two size 1 shield generators, allowing for a more generous overall shield hit point pool, and noting that the base shields with the ship offer 100% ballistic protection, it means it's quite a tanky ship. To further complement the ship's defences, the base overall hit point is incredibly high. I don't know if this is a design or some glitch, but this ship features 18,000 base hit points. That's 3 times the Arrow's, and whilst flying the ship you really do feel the difference. When it comes to weapons, the Talon definitely lives up to its name, featuring 2 sized 4 hardpoints, which can equip fixed size 4 weapons or a gimbaled size 3 weapon. Working alongside these hardpoints are 2 missile racks, capable of holding 2 size 2 missiles each, allowing for a limited but effective missile complement. I would 100% recommend running the fixed weapons on the Talon. The insane manoeuvrability of the ship allows you to keep your guns on the target very comfortably, even when flown by less than stellar pilot like myself. Being size 4 hardpoints allows you to also equip larger attrition repeaters or even scatter guns, which will allow you to take on hammerheads during ERT bounties. Now that we've quickly covered the base stats of the ship, let's move over to Urkel.games and go over my recommended loadout. When it comes to the Talon, I like to run sized 4 attrition repeaters. This way, when overclocked and within that 300 meter radius, you're rocking 2,774 DPS, the exact same as an Anvil Arrow with all size 3 weapons equipped. This is due to the static 50% buff in damage output when increasing the size of a weapon. So, the ship is as deadly as an Arrow, but the overall profile of the vessel is 1/3 larger. To mitigate this, let's bump up the ship's defences. I'm going to keep one of those base shields, which provides 100% ballistic protection, and replace the second with a palisade. This provides a large bump in shield HP, hitting over 11,000 in total hit points. Now, to power this build and keep its stealthy gameplay intact, we're adding a slipstream stealth power plant, making sure to overclock the power plant first to ensure we achieve all the necessary power levels. Lastly, to aid with cooling, we'll add the tried and tested glacier with an additional snowblind. And to zip around the verse quickly, we'll add a size 1 Atlas quantum drive. All in all, these 7 non-stock items will set you back just under 150,000 Alpha UEC. But this build will quickly pay for itself by completing 2 pretty simple VHRT bounties with the additional 20% bonus applied. Bounty hunting in the Talon is both incredibly satisfying and fun, especially with a HOSAS setup. I can spend hours bouncing around different moons and locations, engaging in a variety of both bounty hunting and mercenary tasks. The seriously impressive manoeuvrability of the ship, coupled with the raw firepower from those 2 sized 4 weapons on such a small ship, allow for really exciting gameplay. When in the Talon, I'll comfortably bait large engagements, allowing for multiple targets to attack me at once. Flying in these smaller, more nimble ships allows you to improve your piloting skills. You can test out varying manoeuvres such as blow-throughs or J-hooks in a controlled environment, and the responsiveness of the Talon allows you to reposition instantly if you make a mistake. Bounty hunting in these smaller fighters within Star Citizen certainly isn't the most efficient farming method, but it's definitely a lot more fun and a lot more engaging, which is an aspect of Star Citizen that can sometimes be overlooked, especially when comparing solely the statistics of ships. In this short clip, I am actively being engaged by 6 enemy targets. If I wanted to be more efficient, I could easily take out the main bounty targets and move on with my day. However, when flying the Talon or any of these smaller fighters, I really do enjoy mopping up all of the targets. It doesn't take too long, the rewards are quite mediocre, but the more ferocious combat is a lot more entertaining. Granted, the AI within the game isn't fantastic currently. This will change in the future and targets will put up more of a fight, which is something I'm very much looking forward to. Now, I'm certainly not the best pilot in the game, but flying these sort of ships does help improve your combat performance, especially when running fixed and not gimbaled weapons. PvP flying is a lot more fun and exhilarating than traditional PvE, but the rewards aren't quite there to justify the risk currently. I'm also nowhere near competent enough to compete with some of the more serious and die-hard PvP players on the servers. But with enough practice, who knows, especially when you're flying ships as fun as the Talon. Evading incoming fire is always important when completing combat missions. The nimble Talon can certainly do this, and will happily fly rings around larger targets. However, when you are caught out, that extra size 1 shield coupled with the larger hit point pool and the 100% ballistic protection really helps out. You can comfortably hunt down targets for hours on end in a Talon with no need to repair or rearm. The only things to watch out for really are your hydrogen fuel levels and those pesky space debris. Before we move on to the final summary, there are a few negative aspects of the Talon I'd like to touch on. As mentioned earlier, the Talon is larger than an arrow, and a lot of the extra size comes down to the extended wing-like structure. It looks very impressive, but provides a large top and bottom profile, so watch out for that when exposing yourself to targets. Being an Esperia design, the Talon also shares some problems I had with the Prowler, one of them being the display panels within the ship. They are mostly red with a red underglow, which for me at least makes some of the indicators and damage panels harder to read, especially in combat. I do hope in the future CIG plans to make these more customizable, allowing for a more personalised approach to every single ship in the game. Lastly, the entire cockpit animation is very long. It takes an age to enter or exit the ship. To further impact this situation, the cockpit can clip into the ground when landed, and attempting to exit this ship can force the ship to bounce around violently on the pad, which can either kill you or destroy the vessel just as you spawned it. So there we have it. The Talon is an energetic, hard-hitting light fighter that can give the Arrow a run for its money. If you're looking to engage in some fast-paced bounty hunting combat and want a change, certainly give the Talon a go. Those sized 4 weapons really provide you with a satisfying punch. If you've picked up any ships over Alien Week or have any thoughts on the Talon, feel free to drop a comment. I'm very much interested in all of your opinions, as these are the opinions that are helping shape the game for the better. As always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.